Hello, happy holidays. I'm joking. It's not a holiday here. Unless you're watching it at a time that it is a holiday, which is probably unlikely. But if it is, happy holidays, whatever holiday it is. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about today. Born to fail. You're born to fail and not amount to much, not achieve much in your lifetime. This is an interesting topic because I think we all have the perception in our mind that we can't really be successful. We can't amount to anything. And that's what society says, and that's what other people tell us. Oh, you would never amount to anything if you do this and that. If you drop out of school and pursue what you really want to do, you're never going to amount to anything. Yet those tend to be the most successful people. I'm not saying that's not advice to drop out of school and pursue whatever you want to do. You have to weigh your options, whatever it is that works best for you. I can't even sit this anywhere because I just got to hold it. So, yeah, whatever it is that you want to amount to, you can accomplish that. It's other people who determine it for you. What I mean by that is if someone is saying those things to you and making you feel as though you can't be accomplished, you can't accomplish whatever it is that you desire, then guess what? You're not going to be able to accomplish that because you have that thought in the back of your mind, I can't do this because so-and-so said so. Who cares what so-and-so said so? You know, who cares? You know, people tell me all the time, you know, that I am a failure, that I will not amount to anything because of, you know, A, B, and C. They list a variety of different reasons. You know who you are. If you're watching this, you know who you are. And I say, let them do it, because guess what? I'm not the one who is a failure here. Okay? It's people who believe that they are a failure, have that perception, and manifest in their life that failure. So that's why people, when they're telling someone else that you would not amount to anything, that you would not be successful doing this and that, then guess what? Those are the people that tend to be the most miserable in life. That they don't know what they want to do, that they do not have any sort of perhaps social interactions or friends or any sort of successful life. Now, we must also differentiate what is just constructive criticism as well. Because if you're, you know, working a very low-paying job, for example, and you want to move up, and people are telling you, you know, you can never be successful doing whatever, working where you're working. Again, you can always be successful no matter what you're doing, even if you are working a low-paying job. But for something like a low-paying job that may not be good, that is something that, you know, pretty much anyone can do, it's not any sort of specific skill set, you have to remember that that is just a step to get to where you want to be. So if you're down here and you don't have anything, and then you're taking that first step, like if you want to achieve up here, you can't just go from here to here. You got to take that step. So maybe that step is, you know, getting proper education in a certain field. Maybe working hard at your mental health issues. Maybe having that low-paying job that you're miserable at, and it's awful. It's absolutely horrendous. All that is the milestone. All that is, you know, the first milestone to get to your end goal. Remember that. So when people are telling you that you can't amount to anything when you're, you know, down here or here, they don't know what you're envisioning up here. They don't know how you're going to achieve that. But if you have all your goals set, if you have everything in mind, then guess what? Prove them wrong. That's what I say. Prove them wrong. Rub it in their face. No, you don't want to do that. You don't want to rub it in people's faces. What you want to do is mentally prove them wrong. Say, if they say you will never be able to do this and that, make that a goal of yours to do just that. So you can battle that in your mind and go, guess what? I haven't been able to amount to that, but guess what? Now I am. Now I'm going to overcome that. I'm not going to worry about these ridiculous people saying these things. That's what that's how you have to think of it as, okay? When people try to bring you down, when people try to alter your way of thinking and bring you down to their level, they're trying to make it so you cannot be successful. That is their goal, because they don't want to see you be successful because they want to be more successful than you. And they realize that this goal that you have in mind would make them feel inferior about themselves. So in order to combat that, they have to bring you down so they feel inferior to you, which means saying these things that make them feel better about themselves, that bring you down. But it's all in here. It's all in your mind and how much you're willing to accept. If someone tells me that I will never be, like, for example, when I transitioned from male to female, okay? If people told me that I would never be a beautiful looking woman, that I would never, look pretty, that I will never actually pass as a woman, and if I believed those things, then guess what? I would not look the way that I do today. I would not have the mannerisms. I would not have any of that, and I would probably struggle to be able to pass as a woman. But because I focused on what I wanted to achieve, the person who I wanted to be, and I used that negativity from others as constructive criticism to essentially motivate me and encourage me to continue to be the best I can be, what I have in my mind, then guess what? I proved them all wrong. Not that anyone was saying that, but that is a good example. Okay, that is a good example. If someone had said to me, you have so many mental health issues, you're paranoid, you are always switching these different how you perceive things and these personality states and all this type of stuff, you will never be able to live a healthy life. You will always have to be taken care of. No one will ever love you or care about you. You will never get any sort of job the way that you are. And guess what? If I had listened to that, then I would not be here talking to you today, because I would not have had the confidence to be able to open up about the issues I had. But guess what? All that sort of stuff that I heard, which I only started to hear a lot of this stuff when I started making videos online. No one in my personal life said any of those things, because no one is that hateful. Only people online are hateful because they can hide behind anonymous names, anonymous profiles. They have no confidence whatsoever. Remember that if you're being bullied online. So that's what I did. I used any of their negativity as constructive criticism to make myself be able to focus and prove them wrong. And guess what? I did. I proved every single one of them wrong. If they ever, all these people who were saying these hateful, nasty things online, which they still do, they still do. And then if they look at me now, they don't want to look at me now is what it is. They look at stuff from years ago, 2013, 2014, 2015 even. They look at stuff from back then, how much I was struggling. You could tell. You could tell I was struggling. You would tell I had issues. But they don't want to look at the current stuff because they know how much progress I've made. They don't want to see that. What they want to see is that inferior self that makes them feel better about themselves. They look at that and go, wow, I'm so much better than her because I can actually amount to something she never will. And again, I proved them all wrong, but they don't want to acknowledge it. They don't want to see it because then that would make them feel inferior. I'm not going to sit here and rub it in their face. I'm not going to sit here and say, look, I told you so. That's not how I am. What I am going to do is just focus on what I want to accomplish, and the people who are meant to see whatever it is that I do or how I am, they will see it. I don't need to prove them wrong. I don't need to go out of my way to do that. I'm just going to focus on me. Focus on what is the best for me and being my ideal self. And then everyone else will see and go, wow, I was so wrong about this. And then they would never admit that they were wrong. But every single person who still denies the fact that you can be successful, just remember that. Anyone who's denying the fact that you can be successful, whether it's, even your parents, even your family, your friends, or just complete nobodies, remember that, prove them wrong, you'll be happier and healthier. And focus on what you want to accomplish and make the steps to get there. So, hopefully this was helpful to you. That's all I have to say for today. Hopefully this was informative, and hopefully this gave you the boost of confidence that you needed to, achieve what you want to achieve. Just remember, it's all in here, how you perceive things. If you listen to other people and take what they say as fact about you, then it will become fact. Both positive and negative. So don't block them out. Don't ignore them. Just use them constructively. Okay? You have a great day. And hopefully I'll catch you live tonight on Autumn Asphodel. AutumnAsphodel.com/live. Tonight at, I don't know what time. Usually around 6:30 or so p.m. Eastern Time. I don't know. I'll see you then. Okay? You take care. See? Autumn Asphodel. Bye-bye.